Let's go and let's talk a little waiver wire Tuesday, shall we? It's my favorite day of the week.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm about to publish my waiver wire guide, y'all, and it's looking nice here. Guru's Week 2 waiver wire guide. We got our affiliate sponsor on there, Monkey Knife Fight. So yeah, I'm excited. I got 12 players. We got a lot of players that surprised me. I did the under 50% owned rule and found 12 players that are worth adding for this week if needed. I mean, you don't have to add. I mean, don't go dropping good people or somebody that got off to a bad start. But these are 12 guys to keep in mind.
Don't drop DeAndre Swift. Is it DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, he dropped the game-winning ball, but don't drop him from your fantasy team.
He had a touchdown, so he salvaged that. But you're right, he did drop the game-winning touchdown.
He could have had a big game. Yeah, if he'd have caught that, I'd have been looking like, man, that's my guy Swift. Or now it's like, oh, Swift, he's terrible. That's the week one overreactions for y'all. So yeah.
All right, let's get into it. You want to start with quarterbacks? Do you have a quarterback on the list or no?
I actually do not have a quarterback on the list.
I'll give you a quarterback. I'll start then. I will give you Joe Burrow. You know about him here in the Bayou. And
Joey Burrow.
47% owned. He's not somebody that, look, I'm going to go out there and start week in and week out. He's not a weekly start guy. But you saw his athleticism in that first game against the Chargers. A tough defense. Called his own number. 23-yard touchdown rush. I think, and you saw at the last drive that he got him down to the goal line, put him in position to tie that game, go into overtime. I like the makeup of Joe Burrow. I think in better matchups, he has a better week. So if you need a bye week plug-in or something along those lines later in the season, and he's got a good matchup, he's somebody I'd look at. Or if you have, lesser quarterback play right now, maybe look at a guy like Joe Burrow in terms of the right matchup.
For sure. Yeah, I like Joey Burrow. I mean, I have him in my super flex league as my second quarterback, and I feel like he did okay week one. And he graded himself at a D. I was like, he was a little hard on himself. I give him a C. Wasn't that great, but he held water, and it was a tough matchup. So yeah, definitely better things in the future for Burrow.
So who you got next? Go running backs.
Oh, I gotta go.
Going running backs.
Gotta go. If this guy's on your waiver wire, which he is in all leagues, only 37% owned. If he's there, go get him, Nyheim Hines. Go get Nyheim Hines. I'd almost say, I don't know, half your fab budget, but I'd say at least if you're a fab budget, at least 130 your fab budget on Nyheim Hines in PPR. Because I feel like he could have an Austin Eckler-esque breakout this year because the Phillip Rivers thing, y'all, I'm starting to believe in it, that Phillip Rivers targets his running backs the most out of anybody. And it held weight. I know it's just week one, but I mean, he did it consistently all year with Eckler, just peppering him with targets. And I mean, this week, I'm not going to say sell on Eckler, but for example, this week, Eckler only caught one pass. I mean, I think that'll go up some, but I mean, I just feel like with Rivers, Nyheim Hines and PPR is locked and loaded as a flex, especially with Marlon Mack out of the picture. And that's hard to find on the waiver wire, especially for running back. So if Nyheim Hines is there, go get him.
Beautiful. Love it. Caught 8 balls for 45 yards and a touchdown. Also had 7 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown as well. Big week from Nyheim Hines. He was on my radar as well. My next guy, I'm going to give you a running back. I'll go Benny Snell. I know we talked about him. He has the opportunity. He ran the ball hard on Monday night. He's only 14% owned in ESPN leagues. I like Benny Snell, 19 carries, 113 yards. Seems to be a little bit more durable than a James Conner who's made of glass, as you mentioned. So if Benny Snell's out there, especially if you have James Conner and you don't own Benny Snell, you better go get him quick, fast, and in a hurry. And if you're somebody who doesn't have James Conner, maybe go pick up Benny Snell, and maybe that's maybe a trade chip that you can use or something for the James Conner owner in your league.
Definitely, yeah. He's definitely one of the best handcuffs out there and could definitely have standalone value at this rate. I mean, with Conner being so injury prone. So yeah, I got another running back for you. And I think you had mentioned him earlier, and that's Malcolm Brown. I feel like Malcolm Brown, I was looking at it. Cam Akers, boy, did he look inefficient, man. He looked so inefficient, just plodding along. And I'm not surprised by that because I didn't like what I saw from Akers in college. I wasn't really impressed by Cam Akers like a lot of others were. And so I'm not saying Brown's like some stud and he's going to be an elite RB1 here, but I mean, I think he's somebody that he's similar, I feel like, in value to Hines, but that more so in standard. Like if you're in standard format, go grab Malcolm Brown because the way he's looking like he might be able to get that Todd Gurley load from last year. Not the old Todd Gurley load, but like the reduced Todd Gurley workload, especially if Akers keeps looking that sluggish. And I'm not worried about Darrell Henderson. So I feel like Malcolm Brown is somebody, especially for the short term, go get him. I wouldn't like spend a bunch of fab money on him, but I would spend probably, if you're at 100, I would spend, I say $10 to $15 on him.
Yeah, see if maybe you can get him or something along those lines. Again, not a bad stopgap option. I don't see him as the forever option there in Los Angeles with the Rams. I think they made an investment in Cam Akers, and I think they want Cam Akers to be that guy eventually. But you're right, he did not look very efficient in week 1, and Malcolm Brown looked much, much better. You want to talk about, you spoke about Nyheim Hines in the Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler type of role. What about a guy like Joshua Kelly, who seem to be that Melvin Gordon-esque role? He's only 11% owned in ESPN leagues. They were trying to replace him, and he ran the ball hard. The 4th-round pick in 2020 with Joshua Kelly. Austin Eckler, he'll get a lot of the main work, and I think he had about 19 carries or something along those lines. But I think Joshua Kelly, he looked good, and he got a goal line carry and scored a touchdown on Sunday. Might have an opportunity to maybe get into the end zone and, again, get some of those goal line touches.
Indeed, I like Josh Kelly because with Justin Jackson, looks like Justin Jackson's out of the picture. He got hardly any work.
I think he's a little injured too. I saw him on an injured report.
With him, I think he's out. Kind of like with Darrell Henderson, like not worried about Darrell Henderson, not worried about Justin Jackson. So with that being the case, yeah, Joshua Kelly. I mean, if you miss out on Hines, miss out on Brown, miss out on Snell, I mean, Kelly is somebody you could get. Or if you're in like a really savvy league where Hines, for example, is already picked up, well then, yeah, Kelly's a good option because the way the Chargers, I mean, I was encouraging to see Eckler carry the ball 19 times. However, it's still those near the goal line. They're probably going to be more favorable to Kelly since he's the bigger back. So because of that, yeah, I'd recommend adding him as depth. He's not really a starting option in my book yet since the offense is so putrid, but he's a good depth piece. So if something would happen to Eckler, then I'd say would have standalone value.